Hi, everybody. Welcome back to learning Mandarin with Paper Mario 64 on the iQue player. So this is where I left off. I've changed up the setup a bit, so hopefully the phone will be a little bit easier to see. So I've just made it so that I did have to stretch Paper Mario a bit, but hopefully that doesn't interfere with quality. But anyway, so let's go ahead and let's continue on. So, sorry, I just got to get the window open. There we go. Okay, so what do we have? So I was looking this up before, but I need to do it again. So let's write it in. 仔细的照看着我们这个和平的世界. So, 仔细的照看. So, 仔细 is a verb. So when you put this in front of it, it turns it into an adverb. So this is carefully and attentively. In this case, 照看 is look after, attend to. So 仔细的照看着. So 看着. So in this case, like they're carefully looking, like they're in the process of looking. It kind of has this like 正在, like sort of meaning to it. So 仔细的照看着我们这个和平的世界. So carefully looking at our peaceful world, at this peaceful world, 这个和平的世界. So let's continue on. Okay, so 非常的仔细. So we just learned this. So 非常, you may know this is like extremely. So you could say you could say 非常好吃. 非常好吃. This is really good. Wow, this is so good. This is 非常. And obviously it's like extremely carefully. 非常的仔细. So the here was modifying that 非常. Okay, so this is 于是. I haven't studied this, so let's see. But it sounds like it's yeah, this is what I figured. So this is like accordingly, so then, thereupon, hence, as a result. So this is so in the story it's supposed to be like the story is supposed to be sort of continuing, and then wait, what's going on? Like this is like the whole ... thing. That's what happens in the original game. So 于是 it's a little bit hard to say. Oh, 天啊, 天也, I believe it's 天啊, 那是, so 天, I think this is 天哦. So this is supposed to be 天也. So normally I'd think it's 天啊, but it's actually like 天啊, 天啊, 天啊. Okay, great. So this is a common thing you'll see a lot, especially in like written. If you're typing to someone on WeChat or Hello Talk, you'll often see stuff like this. So this first one is like, oh, you can see it's the 我 with the mouth radical 口. So usually if you see the mouth radical, it's going to be some sort of like just spoken. I know it's a little bit confusing, but basically it's like a spoken thing, like what, so if you have like you'll often have like, so for example, if I type right, so this has the mouth radical, yeah. If I look for it, I might find it. Don't find it. It's a little bit tough, so I'd have to like, but I know if I see it. But if I were to type in also like O, right, so there's O. Whoops, so O, and there's another one I've seen people use this, and also ha, so you'll see a lot of stuff like this. Like this. So these are all like interjections, right? You can see interjections. So you got oh, so you'll see people do this like oh. So it's usually like like is it really? Is that so? You can try to memorize this. Usually it's easier just to see people use it in context and take that for what it's worth. That's better. This is like 天啊, good gracious, for goodness sake. So it clearly, I've never seen anyone say it like this. Maybe this is more for like a story or like children's thing. It's hard to say. But anyway, you'll often see this like ha. Some people, I usually see females I've talked to, they'll put that at the end of a sentence to make it sound cuter, so you can say that too in regular speech. People say all the time, 哇, 好吃啊. You say at the end of it to make it sound a bit more authentic if you want. Okay, great. So let's continue. Oh, right. So 那是. So this is supposed to be like, this is sort of like a pause word. Like some people say it's like the 那个 那是, like it's like that is like, that's basically what it's sort of saying. 就是, people say this when they're trying to think or whatever. So this person's like identifying 那是, like that is like, what is that? That's kind of what the tone is here. Okay, 是谁走进了？是谁走进了故事里，取走了传说中的宝物？ So, okay, so just immediately, the only one I'm not confident about 走进 and 取走. So this is like 取消的取, right? Cancel, so 取走. Okay, remove the take away. So 取走了传说中的宝物. So who is here? I'm assuming this is supposed to be like, entering in, right? Yeah, to enter. 走进了, I should know this. 是谁走进了故事里? So who just came in? So the la particle, this is always confusing for people. So this is indicating a change of state. Like this, you're saying the person it came in just now. Like, wow, this has just happened. So 是谁走进了故事里? Like who just came into the story? So 故事里 li is like inside, 故事里. So this is inside the story. 取走了传说中的宝物. So 取走 is, we just saw, it's to, I believe, to like remove, it just said, right? Okay, so it's not in my history, so I gotta type it again. It looks like maybe I didn't click enter, I don't know. So 取走. So remember, when it's two third tones, you go 取走. It's not 取走, it's 取走. So to remove the take away. So take away the story. This one's a little bit tough. So 取走了. So who came into the story and took away the legendary treasure? So it's a little bit, I'm not sure if that's exactly what it means, but it certainly seems like that. So I think what it's trying to say after thinking about it, it seems like it's taking away this in the middle of telling a folktale treasure. Like we're telling this folktale story, like in the middle of this story treasure. Like that's what it's saying. So the zhong in this case. So just to show you, so this is not correct. So we want to say zhong, among, amidst, amidst the. So it could be that it's right. So in the midst of this story. Yeah. So in the midst of this story, who's taking away the treasure that's in the middle of this story? 是谁走进了故事里，取走了传说中的宝物? So it seems to be the person who. Right. So the person who's taking away the treasure, like the treasure that we're in the middle of talking about. So 传说中的宝物. So legendary. So the treasure from the middle of this legend. 传说中, in the midst of. That's what 中, that's what 中 means. So 传说中的宝物. So continuing on. So I showed you that earlier. Ha ha ha. Yeah. So I think it's a little bit tough to see, but it's ha 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 ha. Yeah. 我成功了. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. 我成功了. 成功. I believe it's 成功. I keep saying it wrong, but right. 成功了. So this one is the one I was trying to look up earlier. Yeah, so this is yeah, so meaningless bound form used in transliteration. So in this case, yeah, final particle indicating enthusiasm, so that's what this means. So you can see that. I need to make sure, I probably have to go like this, make sure that my phone isn't getting disconnected. All right, so let's continue. Wa, so this is another one. Wa, W-A, so you'll see that. It's another one. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so we have this sentence. So we have 经过漫长的 等待我关于可以 and these are my new words so 击败我的宿敌马里欧宿敌 you can see it's an old enemy arch rival so this might be fun to learn but may not be very useful. Sorry, I just need to make sure my phone stays in. 击败 so 可以击败 so I can finally so I keep saying 关于 this is 终于我终于可以 so 终于 is it's like finally I can finally do something 我终于可以 and this is 可以 is can do 击败 defeat 击败我的宿敌 宿敌马里欧 is obviously Mario it's just a alliteration. This is like the official one that they've used since since here. 我得到星之 oh so this is the rod this is the one we learned before so I'll just go to my history I don't remember how to say it so let's see if we find it here. It looks like I don't see it so I'll have to type it in again. So I don't remember. I remember I had a 星之杖 so it must be yeah I think that's 星之杖 so it's a little bit you don't want to say it too extremely like I did the last video so so I believe this is 杖 and then the ending word there is just a like expression meaningless bound article like they said so here it is so cane so 杖 cane stick rod staff so 星之杖 so 之 is的 in this case like a fancy way to say 的星之杖 啦 I believe that's 啦 that's what I've always seen yeah so you see it's 啦 it's a oh yeah so right this is important so this is a fusion of 了 and 啊 so you can use this in place so you can say 他早来了他早来了 so you can say that and it means 了吗 it can mean sorry 了 and 啊 they do have one that is a bound I believe of 了吗 but we can talk about that another time so I received the star rod I believe that's what da means. Okay, so I had to like go through the whole thing so I could get a clear image but so they say 开始吧 so let's start so the ba is like a kind of a softer way to say let's start 开始吧 and this one I don't know so this one's 卡米做 so this is okay so this is Kami Koopa so this is clearly like a transliteration so let's try to learn this person I had to learn Kami Koopa's Chinese name because it's important so Ka Mi so this is actually like my same character and it looks like Zuo but I think it's different it could okay so I have to write it out then okay so after a lot of troubleshooting I got lucky and I found it so I just tried in vain to type the character and so sure enough it's Kami Wu Po is witch so I didn't know that never learned that word before Wu Po Kami Wu Po so there's a Kami Koopa so Kami Wu Po so that's pretty cool so Kami witch sorceress all right and then we can watch the cool cutscene hopefully it doesn't freak out I think it doesn't totally render it right okay so whoa that screwed it up okay so all right well we almost ran into trouble wow look at their faces they're freaking out okay 不我们不能那么做你们不能那么做 I said 我们 by accident 不你们不能那么做 so you can't do that like so it's a little bit weird the way they say it but it's like 不能 so you can't you can't do that so there's 不可以 and 不能 so there's a slight difference between the two so I'm just constantly nervous that this thing is turning off so 不能 right can't you must not do it must not should not and then let's see yeah 那么做 so it's like in this way yeah so that's what I was struggling to say so in this way 那么做 you see you can't do that you can't like so it's kind of weird but they're trying to say like you can't just take it. You can't just like do this what you're doing right now. And 不 obviously is like no. So 不你们不能那么做。Yeah, 让我们开始行动吧。So this allows us, like, it's like 让 is like the cause, it's like 让我 I don't know how to say, like I might say a wrong sentence, but like 让我觉得不好, something like this, like it will make me feel bad. Yeah, 让我们开始行动吧. So this is, to I've never learned 行动, but you can see it's like action, operation, move to get about. So this is what that means. So, all right, let's continue. So it's kind of being tough to pause it now. Hopefully we don't get this normally, but 助手. So I think this, so 手 is hand. So we'll see what that means. Then we learned this one earlier. This one was tough to look up. Something 出去什么什么王. So I'm assuming that's the kingdom or something like this. So anyway, let's take a look. Let's try this out. So okay, so this sentence we have 助手滚出去酷霸王 So 酷霸王 cool. These are the tough ones. So cool, cruel, oppressive. You can see. Ba, leader of feudal lords, overlord. Wang, like, cruel overlord king, basically. So that's clearly Bowser. And then I'm assuming that might be a reference to his Japanese name. They do that a little bit in here. 助手 is like stop. It's a little bit confusing. Stay one's hand. So that's a little bit more literal. But if you look at the example sentences, you see like stop it. 助手. So they're yelling at him, stop. 滚出去. 滚 is, you can see it, get away, beat it. 滚出去, it's exactly what we're looking at. So that's perfect. So now we know exactly what it means. 助手滚出去. It's so hard. 酷霸王. 滚出去酷霸王. So let's go ahead and continue. 你们在改变故事. You're changing the story. That's what they're saying. 改变 is like change. 哇哈哈哈，我们成功了. Like, we succeeded. 这只是小意思. 哇哈哈. So this is like not a big deal, I guess. Like 小意思. So just to, 很有意思, right? So, right, this is meaningless, like little things, like it's almost like saying 小问题, it's just a little problem. Right, so we'll watch the rest of this cutscene. Okay. 星星孩子们正 I learned this already. 正什么力把人们的愿望送入星之国. Okay, so after a lot of consideration, I know the sentence now. I mean, I knew most of the words, but the grammar and like what it means, it's a little bit confusing. So, 星星孩子们正努力把人们的愿望送往星之国. So in this case, it's saying like the children are sending the people's wishes to the star country. Like the star children are sending, like they're working hard, to send the wishes to the country. So let's continue. It's a little bit tricky. But 但是这些愿望却无法 I just learned this one. 无法实现了 I believe. So 实现. Right? Yeah. Okay, realize, fulfill, carry out, but they can't bring it out. 却, so 却 is a little bit interesting. So 却 is kind of like, it's, it's like 但是. You use it with 但是. I really have a hard time with it, but right, so you can see here, but yet, however, it's sort of like an emphasis of it, but don't take my word for it because I don't know for sure. Let me just make sure this is still counted. Yeah, and then 无法, I don't know 无法 right, unable 却无法实现了, unable to fulfill them. And then we have our title screen. 他们该怎么办呢? So this is ta like tamen, right? But this is supposed to be like, this is sort of one you'd use for animals in a way. Not to say that they're animals, but I think it's like you'd use it for fictional. So if I say tamen, I can look for that kind of ta. It's a little bit tricky because it wouldn't appear right. I think it's this, yeah, tamen. This is like for people like that, like animal, right? Animals or other kind of fictional creatures, you can say it. All right, so we can start, and I can actually start using this controller. So I won't have to pause, hopefully, as much because the text should just be stationary. So now I can actually play a game. So the next video, we're going to be playing the game, guys. It's going to be fun.